Okie dokie. So, figure out like where I'm supposed to stand. Today we're going to talk about something called Book Creator, which luckily is just, it is what it is. You create a book, all your children do. So I want you to go ahead and think, brainstorm. What are some strategies that you have used in your own classroom to encourage struggling or reluctant writers? Because what are some strategies that you have used in your own classroom to encourage struggling or reluctant writers?
I did mine list of 200 commonly misspelled words and highlighted the ones
All
that
right,
specifically
who wants to
struggle
share? What have you done?
So I find that if I'm on my own writing along the way, whatever strategy I want them to practice, it helps them to kind of get excited and gives them a little bit of a starting place.
All right. Who else wants to share? Anybody? No?
Okay.
Okay, give me something.
The ones of mine who really struggle, they get stuck on the spelling. So they don't want to finish a sentence because they get stuck on the spelling. So I gave them a list of 200 commonly misspelled words and I highlighted the ones they specifically struggle with.
Okay. Has anybody ever used just technology for those, especially those reluctant writers?
Do you mean like a Google Docs? Like
Even a Google Doc?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That was my experience last year with a very reluctant writer who would not write a sentence and by the end of the year was writing paragraphs. But today we are going to talk about something called Book Creator. So what is Book Creator? It's a Web 2.0 tool that promotes students to create books, full books, to showcase their learning. This is a screenshot of what the website looks like. I have one gripe with Book Creator. It's at the sign-in. It's this little bitty thing right there. So remember that. It's the little, yeah. It's been hard to find. So I have a video, it's less than a minute long, to show why people love Book Creator to begin.
Meet Miss Clark. She has a problem. Her students are not engaged with school. They hate writing. They're bored with textbooks. Sound familiar? Luckily, the school technology instructor Matt introduced her to Book Creator. He says it's the simplest way to create content in the classroom, and kids love it. Her students are making interactive stories, digital portfolios, science reports, language journals, and much, much more. Ms. Clark is also able to create materials tailored to each of her kids. And she's happy because the whole class is now excited to learn again, even the most reluctant students. And of course, the kids are happy. They are making books and publishing them for the world to see. Book Creator, love learning.
And there is a whole YouTube channel devoted to Book Creator too, I found out yesterday. But as you can see, it is transdisciplinary, which is awesome. So, no, don't play again, don't play again. Okay. So what exactly is available for your students with Book Creators? It supports all students of all backgrounds and all abilities, meaning if they don't speak English, it still supports them. SPED students, our deaf and hard of hearing students. Students can write, add pictures, record audio, insert video, etc. And we're gonna see what that looks like. It is a blank slate for students to showcase what they have learned regardless of the material. And like I said, it applies to every subject offered at every level of schooling. So that applies to elementary, middle, and high school. So I want to show you some examples. This first one, these are from my personal classroom. This one is a student who speaks very minimal English. She did all of the research herself on red foxes. So she was able to insert pictures, they can edit the background, and then they added their table of contents. They can add text. She didn't record herself speaking. And then they talked about the diet and food, and she even added captions to all her pictures, which was hilarious. And then that was it for that one. And then I wanna show you, this is an EL student, but this would be more of your typical student, about sea turtles. And I chose this one because her personality really shone through, and she utilized some of the features to match her personality and just to go through. So as you can see here, she edited to fit her personality. I mean, that looks like the one on Finding Nemo here, whatever his name was. She even added speech bubbles from the turtle, because it's on sea turtles, and then we all know that that's not what they eat, but she took that and made it her own. So also what they are able to do is record themselves. So if you have writers that do not like to write, get stuck on spelling, they can record their voice. And I will show you what that looks like. So whenever you sign in, we're gonna switch the teacher. Really? And I'm gonna let you guys play with it in a minute. So whenever you go in, you get one free library for your free account. Now, schools and districts can pay for it like they do with Brain Pop, but that's above teachers' heads, and that would go to admin. And then you can have more. So with your free library, you get 40 books. If you ever wanted to delete everything, you can download them and then wipe it clean. But whenever you edit one, I don't know whose this one is. Oh, Gorillas. This is another indie. You can add images, take pictures. You can just write with a pen, text, record. There's shapes. There's so much. You can embed files in these, and it can even connect itself to other Web 2.0 tools such as Google Files even. And then they loved going in and being able to do this and change the background and all the things. So, you have your libraries. You can even discover other books created by other students at different levels. Ooh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Whole classes can even create a book together. Whenever you sign up your class, they get a little QR code, and I had my students just hold it up to the camera, and then they glued it in their notebook. That way it's always there. The different apps that go with it, I mean, Canva, Bitmoji, even Google Maps. Not that we want anybody to know where our students are. And then I found out yesterday, you can even you can become a certified author, which I thought was cool. And I was like, hey, maybe I can get, a free library. Well, wasn't a thing. So, go ahead. You're gonna go to bookcreator.com. That's why we brought our computers. And I want you to go ahead and create your own free account. And go ahead. You can even probably have started brainstorming how you can use this in your classroom. I had my students one of them did their social studies project on Book Creator. It is a .com, not a .org. I had to quadruple check that. So, great ideas.
So do the students log in with their own, how do they log in?
So you can do like a Google Classroom type code, it can give you one, or I printed out the QR codes for all my kids and they just held it up and it locked them in. And they get to pick their own little like icon, that's them, and
So when they log in, can they see the whole class, the whole library, or only what they created, I was just wondering.
I think it's just what they created, if I remember correctly. We finished these a couple weeks ago.
And another crazy question.
Go for it.
How do you print the QR codes? Do you know if they're good?
So you have to create your class. Go into this crazy sign-in way. And then right here it says student logins underneath your little person thing. And then you can print their QR badges or download the login links to send your children. So,
On your profile, they're only allowed to create one book, is that correct?
No, they can create multiple, but that adds to your total book count of your library. So for instance, I had a student that apparently could not figure out how to edit his book that he had already created. So he had 4 books on tigers. And I had to go in and delete the books. So I was like, God, we're just working on one. That's it. But it does add to your book count.
Is there any way you can limit them just so that you're not going into every student's account and deleting?
Not that I found. So whenever you are in there, I don't know why I X'd off of that. Whenever you go to your library, it makes it really easy for you. So for instance, you just scroll through each book.
And we can, like, it's safe to put their names,
Yes,
is one of those approved.
it is. And then you can turn off for them to publish. So it's literally just in that account. For instance, I have it turned off so it doesn't publish to the book creator website, but you have book options. You can copy it, delete it, combine it, and then for your sharing, for instance, that's where you can publish it. You can make it a collaborate effort, download it as an ebook or print it, and that's what I had to do for that student's portfolio. And then, or you can play it, where you can read it.
So collaborate means you could add more than one author to be able to work on a book?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you get the paid subscription, you can even have a co-teacher in your library as well. Any other questions? All right. Well, in your email, which should have been sent to you at 9 o'clock this morning, because 9:20 was not an option in the scheduling. It's just a quick little survey. If you could fill that out, that'd be great.